Hello, sports fans. This is Wilson. As always, I'm joined by two of my prestigious co-hosts, Shane Christopher Murray and Jason Big Mitch Mitchell. In tonight's episode, we're going to get into the report this I guess it was last week, late last week, about LeBron, or basically the report was that I forgot who made the report. Sorry, whoever did. But basically, the report was that we already knew that there was some talk early, like last season, about the Warriors reaching out to the Lakers to uh, just to see if there was any possibility that the Lakers would be willing to engage in LeBron trade talks. And basically, it didn't get far. But more recently, there was a report that that the Lakers and Warriors, basically, that the reason it didn't get further was because Rich Paul stepped in and let it be known that he doesn't want to see LeBron um, play for another team to end his career. He's played for enough teams, basically. So, so we'll talk about that. And then on the back end, we'll do some NFL talk. The season starts September 5th, so we'll talk a little bit about Vikings and Cowboys and whatever else comes up, fantasy football. All right, so yeah, like as I said, man, LeBron, and we had a discussion last week about uh, could LeBron and Curry team up, LeBron, Curry, Durant, some combination, and we talked about the possibility that maybe the Lakers acquiring Steph Curry. Tim Murray said we didn't have enough first round draft picks to do it. Um, so, but this report looks at it from the other angle. Could the Warriors potentially be a landing spot for LeBron? Now, of course, LeBron re-signed with the Lakers this offseason with a no trade clause, but he also has a trade kicker, a 50% trade kicker, which I thought was odd. Mitch did. I think Mitch said that was just LeBron being a shrewd businessman, right? So, but I want to get. I guess I'll start with Shane. I think I want to start with Shane Murray tonight to get his thoughts on that whole situation. I don't think we ever got Shane's thoughts on the podcast about that trade kicker. Um, so Shane, I mean, how do you feel about that? I mean, obviously the Lakers hired LeBron's co-host of this podcast to be the head coach, and they drafted his son to much controversy. Is it like realistic to think or sensible to think that LeBron could still want possibly a change of scenery with those things happening? What's your take on that?
Yeah, if the right opportunity came along, it's particularly with him and Steph. I mean, even with everything the organization has tried to appease to him, whether that's hiring clutch players to be on the team, trade kicker, no trade clause, giving you as much money as you want, drafting your son. He's not he's not satisfied at all, and he's I think he's more so than trying to get another championship. He's thinking about the the goat conversation. Otherwise, why even care about being on your fourth team if you went to the Warriors? If you're not worried about naysayers saying, "Oh, he's been on too many teams, he's not the goat." So he's definitely still the passive aggressive LeBron that everybody knew from when he was younger. And I'm not really surprised at none of it. What's up? He said something. Um, I'm not really surprised at none of it. Um, I don't really, I don't think it's likely to happen. I, I think the Lakers still gonna have a good season. I think they're better than what people are projecting to be, and people are just mad because of how the summer turned out. But yeah, keep in mind it's still the same roster pretty much that they quote unquote voted them the best off season last year. So the fact you have the best quote unquote off season, one off season, and then because it didn't work out, you complain this team is trash or whatever. That's far from the point. Like this team, regardless, still almost got 50 wins, and that's with what Jason like to say, inadequate coach. So if JJ is better than Darvin, then this team could get 50 or probably above 50. So you have to wait to see how it plays out. But in terms of the Steph Curry conversation, I think he's waiting to see what goes on with Golden State as well, because I don't think they're as bad as people think they may be. But it's definitely a puzzle Steve Kerr has to figure out to make it work. Because he's gonna have to be a head coach of the year candidate for them to really make some noise. Because these pieces are younger and they're not necessarily complete fits. And you got to develop a second leading scorer. So I think Steph is waiting to see what happens. And then Bron just weighing it out. He can't really say too much because, like I said, he got his son on the team. They gave him the contract he wanted, and he signed it. So he had an opportunity to leave. He didn't. So he got to let it play it out, too. If anybody should be a little upset, maybe AD, because there's nobody on, whether you're talking about the staff, the front office, or the roster, there's nobody you could say, quote unquote, is an AD guy. And then you haven't added another big man to help him, which he's been talking about for years. So if anybody should be mad, it's AD. So that's my thoughts.
Mitch?
If anybody should be mad, it's AD. I don't know about that because I mean JJ's definitely come out multiple times saying that he wants to run the offense through AD. So
I mean, we've been saying that the last few years he wanted to run the offense through AD. So until he proves that, plus that wasn't his guy. So he wanted the New Orleans guy.
oh man. I don't know, man. He said a lot. But I mean, as far as the report, LeBron and Rich Paul pretty much turning it down or poo-pooing it or whatever. Oh my gosh, girl. Jeez. Every time. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. Kind of it just kind of is what it is. Um, maybe LeBron and his frustration was like, oh shoot, man, let me go try to play with the greatest shooter ever. Like, why should we be enemies? Just frustration. Um, he probably should not want to leave the Lakers, leave AD. I don't know.
But why would you be frustrated though?
We lost in the first round of the playoffs last year. We haven't beaten the Nuggets in what, 2 seasons now?
You lost to the defending champs. There's nothing to be ashamed of about that.
You can make a case that if we would have matched up against anybody else, we would have gone further in the playoffs.
I agree.
So we know. I think we can also say that we knew coming into this season, our main opposition was going to be the Nuggets. So seeing as how we did not exactly match, seeing as how we didn't make moves to necessarily match the Nuggets, and essentially we, going off the results, we took a step back. That's why LeBron is frustrated.
Well, technically, Denver took a step back too.
Here, do you guys think I thought I had, especially before the Nuggets acquired Westbrook, and even after, but the Nuggets losing Bruce Brown and KCP, right? And then now they added Westbrook, but Westbrook is like, I mean, when's the last time Westbrook actually, if we're being honest, and I know we love him, when's the last time Russell Westbrook was like an asset to a team that was trying to win a championship, right?
Quiet as kept. He was just the heart and soul of the Clippers last year.
Right, but
That's what we're talking about.
but wouldn't anybody rather have, like, if Westbrook is your sixth man, wouldn't you rather have Malik Monk or somebody like that if you're trying to win a championship? Obviously, Westbrook is a better player,
I mean,
but
depends how your team is set up.
well, my question for you guys is: do you guys feel like next year that we should be better than the Nuggets? Like, if we play the Nuggets in a 7-game series with the losses they've had the last 2 years, is that a team that we should be able to get over the hump against next year?
Now, if you have somebody to guard Jokic, like you end up getting Valanciunas at the trade deadline, then yeah, we ain't be in business. But if AD got to guard him for 48 minutes, then that's gonna be a problem.
Well, Mitch really doesn't have that much to say about this, does he? The other thing Mitch brought up before the show was, I guess there was a report that Steve Kerr probably Steve Kerr, who spoke at the Democratic National Convention tonight, unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
Steve Kerr, the liberal shill, Steve Kerr. He, Mitch, are you doing a salute?
I am saluting Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is an American hero. We should all be saluting Steve Kerr.
But why? Because
Seriously.
he didn't let Jayson Tatum play in the Olympics?
Exactly. He is an American hero. All Laker fans should stand up and salute this man whenever he walks in a room.
Newsflash: Laker fans love Jayson Tatum.
No, we don't.
No, you don't.
No, we don't.
No, you don't. You the only one on that list.
We don't love them hoes.
I guess that's it.
I'll have words with any so-called Laker fan called himself rooting for a Celtic.
Well, speak on Steve Kerr. Like, you mean I didn't agree with how he did Jayson Tatum or a couple of his rotations, but he got the job done.
I'm
you can say
over it.
You can be nitpicking and say what you dislike or whatever, what he could have done better. But reality is he got the job done. And I'm not surprised he spoke tonight at the convention because I don't know if you guys know the story, but I believe his pops was a president for a country and got assassinated. So he's very deep into politics and all that. So it's just not new for him.
Listen, this is the last time I would like to bring up that goofy, cringy Celtic on this show for at least until basketball season starts.
I mean, you have no say in what I have to say.
Now listen, brother, you didn't talk for 12 minutes straight. Now listen, okay, I'll let you out of the floor. Let me finish talking. Now listen, I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
What was the goal for Team USA in the Olympics?
Get the GOAT by any means.
Was that goal achieved?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're done talking. It's my turn. Um,
So
I've always been of the mindset that winning is everything. Right? So like I would never like this is why I can't this is why I'm not gonna root for this outside of him just wearing green. This is why I'm not gonna root for him because I cannot relate to somebody who is probably behind the scenes complaining and pouting when we won. Like if you like for me, like if my team wins and I have a bad game, I'm perfectly fine with that. Like the goal is to win. Like that's the goal. And like I said last week, dude, like you're part of the USA program. You are going to get your shot. As of right now, you are not one of the better players on this team. So your job was to play your role, play hard in practice, and do your job when your number is called. That was his job for this summer. For this summer, even AD had to pay his dues. Now, granted, AD was a younger player when he was on the Olympic team, but the spirit is still there. At the end of the day, Team USA won. And yes, he is a star player in the NBA. He's going to continue to be a star player in the NBA. That has nothing to do with Team USA. The name on the back has nothing to do with Team USA success. So we got to stop complaining about his stupid playing time because at the end of the day, we won the gold medal and we brought it back to the United States of America. That was the goal. The goal was achieved. So anything else is goofy, it's cringy, it's corny. I don't like it. Like I'm so over it. Like I feel like it's selfish. And the Olympics is about being selfless. Like you're supposed to sacrifice your game for Team USA.
boo.
So let's close the book on that loser, please.
He's not a loser,
We
first
we,
off.
we won
I
we
just want
won
to
the gold.
clarify.
We won the gold.
I just want to clarify.
We
He
won the gold.
personally has not been publicly
He
complaining.
personally
It's been his people in his camp, but he hasn't personally been complaining.
Of
He
course.
said himself he was just trying to be professional. That's it. That's all he
Yeah.
said.
What's that code for, Antho?
You can say that's code for nothing, but until he verbally says it, you can't say he's complaining.
That's like when Russell Westbrook was, being a professional when he was getting shit on and when everybody's trying to make him the the goat of the team, for lack of a better term, the scapegoat. There we go. Oof, that was killing me. When everybody's trying to make Russell Westbrook the scapegoat, what was he trying to do, Antho? What was he trying to do? What was he trying to
Be
do?
professional.
Right?
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah, that's code for I'm pissed, but I'm gonna still go out there and do my job.
He has a right to be pissed, though.
Not on like Westbrook, yes. Like you do not have a right to be pissed on Team USA.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Like you had, man, we
I'm
brought
not
like,
traveling
we brought
out the
like we
country
brought a guy like
to
D
ride
Wade
the
off the bench in 2012.
I'm not traveling out the
In
country to
08.
ride the bench. I could be enjoying my vacation.
Then go. Then go. We don't need you, clearly. The man didn't make near another jump shot the whole damn Olympics.
Played
It's
5
not like
minutes. Can't
he brought much.
can't get a rhythm to make a jump shot in 5 minutes, dog.
Anthony Edwards did.
Anthony Edwards played major minutes.
That's because he was making shots.
All right, bro.
When
I
Halliburton
don't
came
think
in, he was
you'll
not making
understand that
shots.
until you feel it. But unfortunately
Who
for
you
you, will
talking
never
to?
feel that.
Man, please get out of here.
Big Mitch, when Transfiguration Middle School went 8-0 in 2002,
Like, who's this guy talking to?
Big Mitch sacrificed his offensive. Big Mitch pretty much played. You know how Kobe on the 2008 Olympic
Yeah.
team, he sacrificed his offense and said, "I'll be the point of attack defender." Big Mitch gave up his offensive game for the sake of the team, and we went 8-0. Now, if Big Mitch could have been
No.
selfish, went selfish and said, "I want to lead the team in scoring and done this and that," but he proved that he was
Bro.
a team player. I'll never forget it. Uh, you
I
know,
mean,
It's one thing to
the
change
goal
your
is
role.
to win.
You're still playing.
and I sat over there on the bench and didn't say anything. You know why, Shea Murray? Because it's not about me. It was about the Transfiguration Eagles.
Respectfully, you didn't really care about playing anyway. But
What?
go ahead and use that argument.
I did want to play,
For real.
but I'd rather go 8-0.
Man, hell yeah. I mean, we had guys. I mean, listen, we had some damn scorers on that squad. I mean, you had guys like Alfred Sterling sacrificing his game too, man. It's just like, I mean, what are you gonna do, man? Our team was stacked.
Yeah.
Our team was stacked.
We even beat St. Bernadette's with Adrian Flowers, Yusuf Graham.
Yeah.
They couldn't carry the team.
it's-
Unfortunately, no disrespect to those brothers.
They
But once George Hippolyte and the late great
no,
Carl
no
Jackson,
major disrespect. Listen, man, bro, don't be humble. They couldn't hold our jacks. They couldn't hold our jock straps then. They can't hold our jock straps now.
no disrespect,
If
can't forget Andre Joyner and Michael Silva was also on that team.
them too. If they can get some of this smoke too. That's right. They couldn't see
Watch what you
us.
said. I do see Andre all the time.
Me and Andre used to have a St. Bernadette Transfig big man rivalry when we first got to Murphy. We didn't become cool until junior year, senior year, really. But yeah, man. Is that enough? Are you done bashing Tatum now, or is that? Are we?
If as long as he stops being freaking, I don't know how y'all can like this dude. He's so like he's blown past corny and he's now cringy. Like all his like
The only thing corny is how you keep this.
like all his celebrating. It
consistent.
wasn't original. Like it wasn't because he wasn't original. Like when KG said anything is possible, that was original. When Kobe took that picture with the trophy in the locker room, that was original. Like this dude, when Kanye got up on the Grammy stage and said what he said, that was original. The dude's not original. Like he's literally like
Being a real hypocrite right now.
I'm really not.
You really are.
Man, this fool learned a new word when we said he's being a hypocrite, and now all of a sudden he wants to try to use the word. How, Sway? Huh? How?
And you had an opportunity to do some of Kanye's stuff or some of Kobe's stuff, you would.
Bro, there's one thing of like you can get away with one thing. You can get away with one thing. He literally there was nothing that he did that was original.
Your idols
Nothing.
are your idols.
Bro, you gotta be your own. Like you gotta be your own. Be your own man.
He is being his own man.
No, he's
Yeah.
not.
Barely 20 years old, has a championship ring, Olympic gold medal now.
He's in his
Been in
late
3 conference
20s,
finals already.
He's in his
Chill the fuck out.
late 20s,
Chill the fuck out.
copying. Like, stop defending this dude to me. I'm tired of it.
I'm tired of you.
I don't care.
I don't care either.
Stop defending.
So we're going to
Stop
be two
defending.
non-caring
Stop
motherfuckers.
defending Celtics to me. Stop defending Celtics to me, and we'll be okay.
Who wants to be a Laker?
You do not defend Celtics to me. He is wearing green at this point in time. Do not defend this man to me.
If he was wearing purple and gold, you still hate him.
If he wore the green first,
so you still hate Rondo?
If he came to the Lakers now,
you still hate Rondo?
No. Rondo's cool with me. What the heck? When did I ever say anything bad about Rondo? I've always said good things about Rondo after he won with us.
You hate Rick Fox?
It's different, man.
No, it's not.
Rick played for them, but he won with us.
Yeah, all right.
Ask him what team he reps.
Well, of course, he won 3 championships with us.
When they traded him back to the Celtics at the end of the 04 season, he retired. He didn't want to go back and play for the Celtics again.
Principle.
Principle.
Either way it goes, I'm tired of talking about this fool. Please, no more of this guy. He's clearly not good enough for us to even talk about. Because we're talking about him because he's not good and he didn't get to play. And that's it. That's no more of this fool. Please, what's next?
All right. So I guess we should. I don't think there's any more basketball talk, is there? Unless you guys have anything, and you guys have a Caitlin Clark segment this week, because that's always popular.
Don't you start with the Angel Reese hate.
Angel Reese, aka Andre Drummond.
Keep Andre Drummond.
Caitlin Clark, remember now, the WNBA season, it returned. They were off for like 3 weeks. They finally came back last week after, we recorded last week and the season started back up on Thursday. Caitlin Clark, I think, had 29, 5, and 10 in the first game. And then yesterday she had like 23, 5, and 10. And Angel Reese had like 20 and 19, so almost a 20-20 game. You really almost never see women's basketball players get 20-20 games. So both of these girls are doing stuff that women basketball players usually don't do. But it just continues to be because yesterday the Fever played the Storm, and Sky Diggins sped up to bump into Caitlin Clark. I don't know if Caitlin was showboating. And then
I did see that clip.
The coach of the Storm went crazy over some timeouts and stuff like that. And it's like the Outkick said, Clay Travis, like, bro, these people are just Caitlin Clark drives these people. He drives people insane. They start doing something they would normally do.
I don't know, man. I mean, will we bat an eye if this was like in the NBA? You know what I mean? Like if it was a rookie, like doing something like that, like right by him, and like a vet, I could see I could see a Morris twin doing something like that. You know what I mean? Like get out of here, showboating, rookie. What the hell are you doing? So I don't know. I mean, she gotta pay her dues. I'm not too worried about. It is, it was barely she bumped into her. Sure, it was barely a bump though. Like it's whatever.
Yeah,
more of a mess.
I saw somebody say that only in the WNBA would something like that be a big deal. Draymond choked Rudy Gobert at mid-court, and all we did was laugh about it. But when Sky Diggins bumps into Caitlin, it's like, huh? Yeah, but yeah, so it's it's just one of those women and race.
I'll never forgive Rudy Gobert for shutting down the NBA. Like never.
So you don't think that would have happened if he hadn't done that? You don't think it would have happened anyway? The shutdown?
Now listen,
not the way it did.
That's so that's the thing, right? Like I feel like the NBA still would have eventually shut down, but bro, like you can't be the reason. Like he was legit the reason. like playing around, being a big dummy. Like,
I think they found a way to kept going. He was just found the healthiest way possible to keep going. But because he did what he
you
did,
don't think he would have shut down at all?
huh?
You don't think the league would have shut down at all?
No, I think they would have like tampered some things, just somewhat like they did with the bubble, but found a way to like keep it going some type of way. But because Gobert did what he did, you threw up everything. You got Spider sick and a few of the other teammates. You like basically added to the hysteria with it. So
Yeah.
All right, look. Um, okay, let's talk football. Uh,
Football.
should we do fantasy football first? I thought we should wait till the end for fantasy. We should start with okay. So we talked briefly about the Vikings because McCarthy last week debuted and everybody talked about how good he looked. And then of course since then he has what is it, a torn meniscus, is it?
Meniscus. Yeah, meniscus. Yep.
And you're going to be cautious. He's going to miss the season. Now, what that means is that Sam Darnold, old faithful from USC, he's going to be the man there. I did see somebody. Well, I think that was a troll, but something about Derek Carr because Spencer Rattler looked good in uh in New Orleans and
I heard that.
possibly the I guess the Vikings could look into Derek Carr, but I don't think that had any traction. I was like a troll guy saying that. So, how do you feel, Mitch? Sam Darnold's a guy I always said when I watched him at USC that he would either be Brett Favre or he would be a guy who was like out of the league in a 2 years, right? Now he's hanging around because his rookie year was 2018, so he's going into year 7. He started a few years with the Jets, right? Then he was with the Panthers, and it's kind of, now he gets a chance to, he's going to come in and compete with, JJ McCarthy for that starting job as a veteran quarterback. Now he's going to be the starter. He's still not that old. What is he like? So, God, I want to say Darnold's what, like, shoot, Darnold's like 27, I want to say. So he's still,
Something like that, probably.
yeah, 26, 27, still a young quarterback. So, and of course, the weapons that he has with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, that's about as good as it gets, you know. So is this a situation where we could see Sam Darnold have like a career year and then find himself the starting quarterback somewhere else, next year? What is your level of confidence or comfort with Sam Darnold being, your likely starting quarterback this season because of the Vikings?
So here's the thing, guys. Sam Darnold was always gonna, he was always gonna be the starter. That was always supposed to be the plan for Sam Darnold to come in be the starter, right? Training camp happens. He looks kind of shaky in training camp, but then he starts to pick it up, But I think he clearly felt JJ kind of breathing down his neck because everybody, JJ is clearly, the shiny new toy. He's our first round draft pick. I think that he's the highest drafted quarterback in Vikings history. So everybody's already looking at JJ. So he might have been feeling the pressure at the beginning of training camp. But uh, I feel optimistic, actually. I really do. I really do. Um, he had a really good stretch with the Panthers. Um, they had like a weren't they like undefeated until like Christian McCaffrey got hurt, something like that. So
Right. He was playing well, and then McCaffrey, when we got a guy like McCaffrey, he makes the game so much easier for the quarterback. But then when he got
exactly,
hurt, Darnold kind of went.
just
How do they say it? Cinderella turned back into the prince turned back into a
Yeah,
frog.
yeah. Turned back into a pumpkin, basically. The clock struck midnight on him, huh?
Hmm.
So, you know, with that little sample size, with him having like elite talent around him, that makes me optimistic because obviously he has elite talent around him. He has the best receiver in the league. Um, he has he also has Jordan Addison, who's coming up. He'll have T.J. Hawkinson at some point this season. We've got Aaron Jones, Aaron Jones still got a lot left in the tank. Um, we've got an all we've we got an all-world left tackle protecting his blind side and Christian Darrisaw. I feel like we got a really solid offensive line to protect them overall. Um, all he has to do is throw it around the yard. Really, I think with the weapons that we have, it'll take a lot of pressure off of him. He just needs to make the right reads, stay cool under pressure. So, that little, like I said, that little sample size that he had with McCaffrey, that gives me a lot of hope, that we can get off to a good start in the season. Um, how far we can go, remains to be seen, obviously, because if he was that good, he'd probably catch on as a starter somewhere already. But I also am really excited about our defense and our other first round pick, Dallas Turner, is looking really good. We got a hidden gem in Levi Drake Rodriguez on the defensive line. Got solid veterans on the line like a Harrison Phillips. We got a sturdy veteran in the secondary in Harrison Smith, and we got Cam Bynum back there as well. Josh Metellus, the Swiss Army knife, who damn near played every single position on defense last year. We've made some big signings. We got Cashman from the Texans, and Grenard from the Texans. Is that Grenard? Yeah. But and the real position of need was cornerback. We ended up losing, obviously, our rookie, tragically, who was on the come up. Once again, RIP to Kyrie Jackson. And then Mekhi Blackman, he got injured the first day of practice. So there
Another
that went.
Trojan man.
Another Trojan. Ugh. Ugh.
Mhm.
Speaking of, we got a little gem on the defensive line. Undrafted for undrafted undrafted Gabriel Murphy out of UCLA. He's been doing his thing. So we'll see if he can make the roster. But we ended up signing Stephon Gilmore. We got Byron Murphy. We re-signed Duke Shelley. We signed Fabian Moreau. Like, cornerback is looking okay for us now, I think. So it's the second year for a lot of these players in Brian Flores' defense, and for about a 4 or 5 game stretch, we had the best defense in the league. So I'm excited to see what this defense can do with a little more talent and being second year in this Flores scheme. So I'm cautiously, optimistic. It's still the Vikings, right? So I'm cautiously optimistic about what we can do this year, this season. I think we can make some noise though. So look out for us.
Shane, you have any Cowboys thoughts? We talked about the Cowboys last week. CD still hasn't signed, which I'm a wee bit surprised by. what's his name? Dak is still a lame duck quarterback. Um, how you how you feeling, man? Are you starting to panic yet?
No panic at all. We still got a lot of talent on this team. We picked up a couple nice defenders to add to the roster recently in the last week. CD put up a cryptic tweet. I don't know if y'all saw that signifies he could be back soon. So we'll stay tuned for that. I'm not worried about Dak. He's used to being a quote unquote lame duck quarterback, especially when it's time to get paid. But he usually is the leader that he is and continues to play above it. Excited to have Zeke back and see what he has left. I'm hopeful Deuce can get some time to get some reps with him. He's looking good out there. And what's his name? Trayvon, guy's last name. He's back to um, to be in the secondary. So it, everything
You
is
mean
up.
Trayvon
Like,
Diggs?
huh? Trayvon Diggs. Excuse me. So
Jeez
he's back.
Louise.
What
That's
did he
terrible.
call him?
He didn't say anything. He just called him Trayvon.
Yeah,
Trayvon.
guy's last name. But anyway,
I just forgot Trayvon Diggs last
I mean,
Didn't he
he was
like lead
gone
the
most
league
of the
in
season. You know what I'm
interceptions
saying?
last
But
year?
yeah, he's back. You know what I'm saying? So everything, the talent's all there. You just once again got to put it together. So I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, man. The Cowboys' problem is never talent, or hasn't been in a while. The talent is always there. It's always just being the Cowboys. How can you overcome? Can they ever overcome being the Cowboys and the curse of the Cowboys since 1995, since that third Super Bowl in the 90s? Um, Now at the end here, Mitch, do you have your fantasy football season is upon us? I mean, it's here. Do you have your mock draft?
I did. Yeah, I did a mock draft just to, dip my toe in the water. Uh, Ended up getting the 10th pick. So with the 10th pick, I was able to get Justin Jefferson in this mock draft. So, man, that was awesome. Um, and then, it's a snake draft. So I got back to back picks. So then next I took Kyron Williams, running back from the Rams. My third round pick was Aaron Jones from the Minnesota Vikings, running back. Uh, uh, I tripled up and I took Kenneth Walker in the fourth round, running back, Seahawks. Fifth round, I went quarterback and I was able to get CJ Stroud. I feel like he will have a good season. He's going to have, so Tank Dell should be coming back. He'll have Stephon Diggs, obviously, a very reliable target. His second year, um, LA guy. Um, so he's looking to he should be taking the next step. Um, I was able to get Trey McBride in round six, tight end from the Cardinals. In round seven, I was able to get Keenan Allen from the Bears. So listen, I mean Keenan Allen, he just gets open. It's crazy. Um, I took Rashee Rice from the wide receiver from the Chiefs in round eight. Um, sorry, Shane Murray. In round nine, I took Tony Pollard from the Titans. Round 10, I was able to get TJ Hawkinson, which, that's going to be, let's keep that low key. Let's keep that between us. I'm definitely targeting Hawkinson, in those later rounds because he should be back at some point in this season. I was able to get Khalil Shakir, wide receiver from the Bills, in round 11. he should see an increase in targets with Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs leaving. I got Jerome Ford, round 12, running back from the Browns. I went backup quarterback for round 13, and I got Mr. Ron, Mr. Rogers from the New York Jets. Round 14, another running back. I took Ty Chandler from the Vikings. Word is that Ty Chandler and Aaron Jones are going to split carries. So let's see how that goes. And then round 15, I took Chiefs defense.
Hmm.
So with this mock draft, I would have to drop somebody because I would need a kicker, but I got a C grade for this, but I don't know. I think I did pretty good, especially for having the last pick. But in a snake draft, you either want to have the first pick or you want to have the last pick. I feel like in a snake draft, so I was able to get that last pick.
Basically, you have the 10th pick, then you have the 11th pick, like right after it, right?
Exactly.
You did. Is it an ESPN draft?
Yeah, ESPN. ESPN.
Shane, do you play
All in
fantasy?
all,
Oh, go ahead, man.
yeah, all in all, fantasies looking. I'm prepared for the season. I'm looking to get my get back this season. Unfortunately, last season was not great fantasy wise for your boy. I pulled in last place, and I'm gonna have to take the punishment for being last place in the fantasy league. So be prepared, Antho. I know you don't do the Instagram anymore, but if you ever decide to come back to the gram, now would be the time. On Friday, I will be posting my last place punishment for fantasy football on Friday on the gram. It will be available all season.
This must have something to do with the Green Bay Packers somehow. If I'm correct, huh?
I cannot say. I cannot say. I will not confirm nor deny. Just know that this is a punishment for fantasy football, and I didn't have to do it. But as the commissioner of the league, I feel like I need to uphold the integrity of the league and do this punishment, even though I don't really have to. It'll set a good precedent for this year, so that this year's last place finisher will also follow through with the punishment. So, as your commissioner, I will do my duty. Like I said, I will uphold the integrity of the league. And this Friday, you will see my losers post.
Everybody, what's your IG again? It's J2 Fresh, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's JTOOFRESH. So on Friday, please go check that out. It's going to be humiliating, I guess, unfortunately for Mitch, but he's a man.
I'm a man.
So
you gotta accept consequences as a man,
He's
so
gonna do what he has to do.
I gotta step up and take my lumps, man.
All right. Okay, so Shane, do you play fantasy football?
Nope.
Well, I guess that's that.
What a nerd.
I will say this though, going back to the football. Fuck. Getting names tonight. Shout out to Caleb Williams. Like, I feel like the way he playing, the Bears might make a little bit of noise. You know what I'm saying? He stay healthy, just a little bit, at least be in playoff discussion. And then I'm looking out for who wins the quarterback battle in Pittsburgh. I feel like that could be the difference between either a horrible year or a breakout year for him, depending who wins.
What we need to be looking out for is if the Steelers will be able to get their hands on Brandon Ayuk. That's what we need to be on the lookout for the Steelers.
It sounds like you're saying if they pick if Mike Tomlin names Russell Wilson a starter, they'll have a bad year, and if he names Justin Fields a starter, they'll have a good year. That sounds like that's what you're saying.
I mean,
I don't know if that's true.
it could go that way, or Russell can have a rebirth year. But that's what it seems to be looking like. Russell already injured,
He had
and I feel like he's playing for his survival in the league. So
he had a bounce back year last year. He proved that first Broncos year was, it was a fluke. He had a way better year last year. So,
well, is that it, or like?
Briefly on the AFC, there's not much to talk about. I just figure the Chiefs will be representing the AFC in the Super Bowl once again.
Now, how we feel? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say who they'll be playing. We'll see. But I mean, who's gonna stop them?
Well, I think history is probably the only thing that could stop them because they've gotten better this offseason. They drafted a kid Worthy. They got Hollywood Brown. So they're gonna have Mahomes gonna have better weapons than he had last year. And they're the Chiefs. I mean, that's what it is. They're the new Patriots. And so, but the only thing that could probably stop them is, the fact that no team has ever won 3 straight Super Bowls. So that's what they're up against.
Yeah.
They're up against history.
Right.
But I think Josh Allen's really interesting because he doesn't have any weapons now, and it's like maybe that could open him up for an MVP type season if he just carries them on his back, and they go, they can go 11-6, and he can win the MVP probably if he has a monster year carrying the team. But he lost his 2 best receivers.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's what we got.
Oh, all right. So, Mitch, you got anything you want to say to an old friend of mine?
Yeah, man. Of course. Once again, shout out to the hobbled Herbert. He was gonna hobble his way over here, and he was gonna talk about how he is a Raider fan first now. Officially, he is a Raiders fan first. He will still root for the Rams, but he is a Raiders fan first. He was gonna come on explain that, but unfortunately, Shane Murray once again derailed us with the cringiest player in NBA history. So sorry, Herbert. We ran out of time.
Sorry, Herbert. All right. So before we get out of here, just a few reminders. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button next to the Complete Podcast Network. If you prefer the audio version, remember to rate, review, or subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts. The show is also on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and every other major podcast.
Back, baby.
Make sure to follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at
Y'all look
Pod
out
Network,
for Justin Jefferson.
and like it on Facebook.
He will
This search
once
for the
again
Complete Lakers
cement his
Podcast.
place
And
as
finally, send
the
feedback
receiver
and
in
mailbag
the
questions
league.
to Complete Lakers Podcast.
Aaron Jones
gmail.com.
had a chip on his shoulder.
Are out.
In Sam Darnold, we trust.